Hello, y'all. I am back again with another video. So this video is going to be about narcissists and text messaging part 3. And I'm also going to be creating a playlist because I've done a live on narcissists and text messaging part 1. And I did a live for narcissists and text messaging part 2. And the reason I'm doing these lives on text messaging, I believe that they're good story times, and I like to break things down in detail so that we can all go into the new year with a better understanding and how to protect ourselves more. And I believe that a lot of entrapment and ensnarement, as HD Tutor would say, is going to begin a lot through the text messaging. So I'm going to give you an example. In Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 2, I will put both of these videos in the description box below. So just remember, when this live ends, Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 1 and Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 2 will both be in the description box. So one of the examples I gave, I'm going back to the text messaging now. I talked about boundaries when you have married friends and you're single, and married people messaging you from work phones and numbers, and basically you don't want to contribute to any married individual sneaking behind their wife or husband's back. So you will have to go watch part 2 to Narcissist and Text Messaging. It's the live before this one. So I talked about, I'll give you an example of the messages that come through. And hello, beautiful. Call my other phone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good after morning, noon. Hi, good afternoon. Um, hello. Happy Friday. Good afternoon, good morning. I said good morning. This is the controlling element that's coming from this work phone when I am not replying. Um, Good morning, the text message says. Hey, good afternoon. For tomorrow morning, no problem. Emojis. Good morning. You still alive? Hello. Let's try it again. Hello. Good afternoon. This is a person really getting upset with you because you're not responding to the text messages that they're sending you from a work phone. Okay. No response, huh? Hellos. Good afternoon. Hello. What's your problem? I see you. So this is the last one I got. So thank you so much for coming into the live, y'all. I mentioned that I did let me see, Guardian, OIV, Vanaheem, hello to you. And I'm doing great. How are you doing? And then someone leaves, let me see, Louise Salva 3609, not Ingles XD, not sure what that means. But thank you so much for coming into the live. Because this live is going to be pretty interesting, talking about these text messages, right? Or text messages. So the last text message I got, you got to go watch part 2. It'll make a lot more sense. I can't repeat everything that I talked about in narcissist and text messaging in the live that I did for part 2. This is part 3. So this last text message says, I see you. Okay, so with AI, you can look up anything, but in this case, the I see you means literally, like I see you. Okay. There was comments made by the gentleman, I'm right behind you. I'm outside. There's other comments that was made through the phone call. So this I see you, it's just like it reminds you of kind of like a scare tactic, right? Say if you want to make somebody on edge, Um, triggering anxiety. Empathic people, we view joking around a little different. We have a great sense of humor, right? But what I wouldn't want to do is have someone on edge. So if they're sitting in their house, I'm not going to be saying, "Hey, I'm right behind you. Guess what? I'm outside your door." And now I'm texting saying, "I see you." So what I did, I looked up the "I see you," and you can look up this on the Urban Dictionary, and it'll say the way to compliment a person and stuff like that. However, I looked up when a psychopath says, "I see you." What does it mean when a psychopath says it? Okay, so when a psychopath says, "I see you," it usually is a manipulative tactic, not genuine empathy. It means they figured you out, identified your vulnerabilities, or recognized your value as a tool for their own gain, signaling they're ready to exploit your emotional needs for control, possession, or amusement, often using charm to mimic connection. So, what it means, deconstruction. They've seen through your facade and understand your insecurities, desires, or emotional weak points. They're saying, "I see you," to intimidate and control. It's a power play, a way to make you feel exposed and vulnerable, as if they've peered into your soul. They're targeting you. They've identified you as someone they can use, control, or possess because you're emotionally available or have something they want. False intimacy. The psychopath can say that they see you because they're mimicking deep understanding to build trust quickly, creating a deceptive bond without real emotional depth. So, why do they say it from a psychopathic perspective? To hook you, to disarm you, to establish dominance. How to tell the difference between genuine empathy? Genuine "I see you" comes with warmth, consistent care, shared vulnerability, and respect for boundaries from a healthy person. So if a healthy person says, "I see you," thank you so much for the like, y'all. When a healthy person says they see you, it's coming from a genuine warmth, like warming, and consistent care. So warmth, I cannot pronounce that word right. Comes with warmth. That's not a word I use because I get tongue tied. Warmth is WARMTH. Warmth. Yeah, I just, it's not a word that I use because I always get tongue tied. So psychopaths, "I see you," often precedes love bombing, demands for control, a lack of follow through on promises, or a focus on their needs rather than a mutual connection from a psychopath. So I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. So if someone says, "I see you" on Urban Dictionary, it's like a compliment. They're really into you. But from a psychopathic perspective, it means something totally different. And I just read that to you. So in this case, the "I see you" that I'm getting through the text message would apply more to this particular situation. And I'm saying it applies. Maybe the person is not a psychopath, but people can have psychopathic tendencies and just behave. Hold on, y'all. I got to cut this heat out and just behave in a manner that makes people feel uncomfortable, right? Um, I'll tell you, it doesn't take long to heat a room up nowadays, y'all. I'll tell you. So I got the "I see you" through the text messaging from the work phone again, from someone that's married. They're friends of mine, right? I did not reply. I did not reply at all. Um, People want what they want nowadays, right? And they're not necessarily looking out for how their behavior benefits you. And I'm just gonna give some suggestions, right? Outside of like a healthy relationship, like with a pastor or someone in ministry, um, it's just not a good idea, in my opinion, because regardless, even if you're not married, you have your own life, right? And I just don't think it's the best road to be on, to be talking to a married man on a work phone of his very often. And if his wife is aware that y'all communicate, it might be okay to like talk on the phone sometimes for certain things if you have things in common with the married couple. However, texting anyone every day that's not living in your home and they're married and they're doing it from a separate phone, their work phone, a work phone that they actually leave at work, y'all, a work phone that's left at their job. Okay. I just don't think it's a good idea to live like this. So, all of these text messages from this particular work phone, I've ignored the messages. So, the message, I see you, I did not reply. Going into the new year, something that I'm working on is not over explaining to people. This is common sense, right? If if I'm a married woman, just say if I were married, okay, and I'm texting some single person from my work phone and they're ignoring me, I should understand what that person is saying to me. What they're saying is that they have a boundary. But this is the thing, this is a male, of course, and he's saying, I see you. So the reason he's kind of trying to get me off edge or scare me or play these type of games, the number one reason any man does this is because they don't view you as being protected. They don't think you're going to call the police, which I'm not. I'm not going to call the police. Um, I'm just going to ignore the text message. They don't, this is a consequence of, you don't have violent sons. Like none of my sons is going to be like if I had sons where this particular male knew that one of my sons would call and say, bitch ass motherfucker, don't text my mama. I see you, bitch. Motherfucking bitch. Leave my mama alone. I don't have those kind of sons, right? And I don't even want my sons to be behaving like that with people. But what happens is to males outside of your sons, they perceive your family as kind of like weak. So they don't think anyone's going to say anything to them. And nobody should say anything to them. The I see you text should just be ignored. That's it. It just should be ignored and there's nothing else to it. But no one that really has empathy for you, that cares about you, is going to want you on edge, like scaring you, right? Like one day I was sitting in my dining room chair and I was on the phone with the same gentleman, and he was like, I'm right behind you, Irene. I'm looking at you right now. I can see you. And see, when this type of stuff happens, one of the things I think is thank the Lord that I don't have this particular person visiting my residence. This is a benefit of going to married couples' homes and they don't come to your home, because you just never know when their husband gonna start being disrespectful to not just their wife, but to other single people. Or in some people's case, it could be somebody else's wife doing this. So what I find in these kind of situations, I'm like, thank the Lord I don't have company. To be honest, if I have married couples come over, I would feel more comfortable in that type of situation if I was married as well. Like a couple thing, like I'm with my boyfriend or husband and they got their husband. And I'm talking about people outside of like people in ministry, your pastor, people at the masjid, stuff like that. So what I did was I ignored the text, and what I will be doing is not texting that phone number at all. It's a work phone number with a major corporation. And also with this narcissism texting part three, because that's what this is part three, you're staying out of people's business, right? Imagine this major corporation contacting me and asking, by the way, is this particular employee texting you personal messages, ma'am? Imagine, the job contacting you. So if this particular person, this gentleman job, saw his text messaging, he probably deletes them before he leaves work or leaves that phone at work. But if this particular gentleman's job saw this text message, they would actually see that I'm ignoring it. So just creating these kind of boundaries. And I think what's happening is with these text messages, the narcissist or someone that's highly narcissistic, I think that they understand that getting you engaged in the texting is a major way to keep you ensnared for a very, very long time. My ex narcissist, that was I would call an aware narcissist, he was one of the first people that began to pull me in the texting thing, but we talked on the phone a lot when we first met as well. So I didn't really consider it a big problem because we mostly talked on the phone. But my ex aware narcissist, he would use that text messaging many, many years ago to do silent treatments, go missing in action, discard me whenever he wanted to. And that went on many, many years ago. So that was when I was first kind of brought into text messaging. So what I'm finding is anyone that's highly narcissistic, and you may find this as well, they won't let the texting go. Even if you don't reply, they got to keep trying over and over. I'll read it again. They just got to keep trying. And remember, none of these texts come through on the weekend. So I'm just going to read them again. And maybe we can count them. Text one, hello, beautiful. Text number two, call my other phone. Text number three, on a Tuesday, good afternoon. Text number four, on a Wednesday, good morning. Text number five, hello. Text number six, good morning, on a Tuesday. Text number seven, good after morning, noon, on a Thursday. Text number eight, hi, hand wave, good afternoon. Text number nine, Thursday, hello. Text number 10 on a Friday, morning and happy Friday. Text number 11, good afternoon, on a Friday. Text number 12, good morning, it's Wednesday. This is on Wednesday. He didn't say that, but I'm just saying. I said good morning. Here goes the control. So now since we're on day 12 or text number 12, not day 12, text number 12, I said good morning. Here goes the control. And this is because someone that's highly narcissistic, especially since they are married and sneaking around on their work phone, they have to do this. They have to get control of you through the text messaging. Because someone that's married doesn't have time to get control of you in person because they're with their wife and their family. And I'm with my family. I still got a family, even if I'm unmarried. Text number 13 on a Monday, good morning. Then emoji. Text number 14, hey, this one's on a Tuesday, y'all. Text number 15, good afternoon, on a Friday. Um, Text number 16, no problem. On a Monday now. Next text was 16, good morning. 17, you still alive? Hello, 18. Let's try it again. Hello, good afternoon. That's 19 or 20, right? No response, huh? Now you're being disciplined. 22, hellos on a Friday. 23, good afternoon on a Tuesday. Wednesday, hello. Now, on a Monday, what's your problem? Now I see you. And this individual's wife ain't seeing none of this. The thing is with married people, just talk on the phone. You know, if you have close bonds with married people, just talk to them on the phone. Take the text game out of it. So, what I do, you do not want to be ensnared in other people's family business. I am not going to text this work number anymore. I did text a few times because my first text was, who is this? When I first started getting calls from this number back in February of 2025, so this is going into a year now, right? One of my questions was, hello, who is this? I never got a reply. 2.5 months went by, and suddenly I got a text that said, hello, beautiful. 2.5 months from me asking back in February 2025, who is this? This is how this went down, y'all. Please click a like since y'all are in here. So the I see you text is definitely not a compliment. It's just like a scare tactic to make me feel uncomfortable, on edge. It started out like as a joke, but it's not a joke, right? You got to understand that certain things are not a joke. Let me see. Oh, Andy M 6307. Hello and greetings from Germany. Welcome from Germany. Wow, we got someone all the way here from Germany. I've never had a problem with anyone that's German. Never in my entire life. So thank you, Andy M 6307, for tuning in. And just to get you updated, this message is about, or this video is about narcissists and text messaging. This is part 3. Whenever you get time, everyone, and Andy M 6307 from Germany, because I haven't seen you comment in here, go into my lives. When you go into someone's channel, please subscribe, because I have some interesting lives and videos. I've been mostly on my lives and uploading lives since I'm monetized now. So I did Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 1, and then I did Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 2. So this is Part 3. So this text messaging thing is a major way that we're going to get ourselves in a lot of mess. And this can be going on in Germany too. No matter what, text messaging exists in Germany as well. So I'm teaching more of the ignore it game. Don't get ensnared in this. I got this text message from someone that's married. He's saying, I see you. And also bringing up the fact that the protective measures that I use to sometimes not be so overly friendly with people pay off in the long run, right? It just really pays off. And another thing I don't do, I don't bring married men in my residence without their wife. So having that boundary is protecting me right now. Oh, you're welcome, Andy M 6307 from Germany. I appreciate you being here. I feel very grateful. You know, it's amazing how you can reach people, even a small channel. People come in here from all kind of countries, you know, from Europe, Africa. I mean, the islands. I mean, people, I get people in here from Mexico. Yeah. And it's fine. You know, I'm not married as well, Andy M 6307. And so this will really apply to you because the thing is, usually Germans are nice looking men. They just are. I'm just going to be honest. I haven't met a ugly person from Germany yet. They're very handsome. Okay. And I'm around Americans that are mixed with German bloodline. Okay. We have a lot of Americans, and I mean Black Americans that are mixed with German. You know, one thing about Germans, they have the pretty, not a square face, I guess like between a square and a heart shaped face. It's Germans have a distinct facial shape that's just so pretty to me. So, what will happen, Andy M 6307? This is a good video for you because you are not married. So, someone's wife, imagine this, one of your friends' wife, your friends, because just because you're married don't mean that you don't have friends that are not married. So, imagine one of your married friends and their wife starts texting you from their work phone, sneaking behind their husband's back. Imagine this happening to you, right? And initially, you don't even know what the number is because they're not calling you from their regular cell phone numbers. You know, because usually, if you're friends with a married couple and you've known them a long time and you hang out together, you go to events, you're at their kids' stuff, you normally have both of their phone numbers. It's not abnormal when you're friends with a married couple to have their wife and their husband phone number. Let me see. Hello, Farah. Gia Rob, 1808. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing the name to the best of my ability. It's in such small print. So, Farah, Gia Rob, 1808. Yeah. So, you probably just came in the live, Farah. But what I'm saying is, you know, Andy was saying he's single. Andy M 6307 from Germany. And so I'm explaining a text message that came through, and where the married man is saying, I see you. But he's not seeing me. It's just something he's been doing. Like if I answer the phone, he's saying he's outside my house. He can see me while I'm sitting in my chair and stuff like that. So scare tactics, things to make you nervous. Oh, Andy M 6307 said, I had some girlfriends in my life, but now I am old. Well, it's nothing wrong with being old. Um, do you mean you had some girlfriends in your life? You too old for the games. That's what it is. I don't really think it's old per se, just mature. I mean, we're old enough to know better. I mean, over time, you just get tired of being involved in any narcissistic situation where and y'all, if y'all go back and watch the narcissist and text messaging part 1 and part 2, and then this is part 3, it's going to be really, really helpful. Oh no, your English is fine here, Andy M 6307. I'm understanding everything you're typing. So whatever you're doing, the English is great from this end. So you're doing perfect. Now, so that's that example. So the key is just ignore the text. Do not marry people when they're communicating with you through text. They need to do it from their married cell phone. That's all you need to ask. Like, hey, I'm friends with y'all. I don't care, but don't allow a married person to be creating a texting relationship with you from their work phone that they wife don't know that they texting you on. Texting creates a trail. You're safer just to make a phone call. Now, if the person at work and you make a phone call, that's fine. If there's a reason you need to talk or just to say hey or whatever. But the texting, that's inappropriate. For one, it's too much contact. So a married person that you're not like in business with or working with is too much contact. When you're talking to someone that's married, if I'm talking to a married man every single day for months and months at a time, that's inappropriate. Don't even start it. Stop that really, really quickly. Now, the next situation, so I'm going to give the next example because I'm done with that one. So the next example is with exes. Okay. So this is somebody you dated, you used to date, they're a narcissist, or maybe they're not a narcissist. But the text messaging, empathic people, we don't really do this type of stuff with this text messaging stuff. And I also will be doing a video at some point about empaths and text messaging because I'm covering narcissists in text messaging, but I'm going to go over empaths in text messaging and the way we should be behaving and what we should be noticing about text messaging. So exes. Okay, so you're with an ex many, many years ago. One of the things that narcissists love to do when they're in a relationship with you is to go missing for whatever reason they want to. They're just entitled to go missing. They don't feel like they have to tell you anything by phone call or text. They feel like they don't have to answer to you at all. Okay, this is example number 2 for this particular video, part 3 of narcissists and text messaging. So when you were with a narcissist, you would be like, hey, well, why didn't you call me on that Friday? What happened? But now since you're broke up with their ass and you don't deal with them no more, you don't go to their house, they don't come to yours. You no longer have sex with them, you're not intimate with them. Yes, they are evil, Andy M. Yes, they are. Andy M, 6307. He's all the way from Germany, y'all. This is a German man. Come on now. Somebody all the way from Germany is telling us how evil narcissists are. They evil everywhere. Listen, look at his comment. People in the United States, Andy, they still can't figure this out. You can have a whole fist fight with somebody in the United States, and they will swear that the narcissist is a good fucking person. Really sick country. The United States, they love abusers. They love them. They'll turn on you for a narcissist in a minute. So the thing is, they are evil, and their texting is evil too. No matter how nice it may look, the texting is evil. So in this example number 2 for this video, this is the aware narcissist that I broke up with. He's texting me that good morning text. Happy Thursday to you. Then he texts me again Friday. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. I didn't reply. I'm not replying to this stuff, right? So then Friday, he also says he was on a vacation day. I don't care. This is so inappropriate. You know, narcissists, they don't know how to break up. When I'm broke up with someone, I'm not texting them good morning every day. And I'm also not telling them through the text that I was on a vacation day. This is insane to me because when I think about this particular, I call this one an aware narcissist. A lot of times he didn't feel like he had to do this when we were actually together in a relationship. But now, since I'm not in a relationship with him, he's keeping me updated on his schedule. And when I read this type of stuff from narcissists, you know what I think? I don't know what the hell he doing. He could be at a whole orgy right now and I wouldn't know about it. He's on a vacation day. Okay, this means nothing to me. I didn't reply to any of this stuff. I just let it be. But this is the way to run this type of person off. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what to run them off. I thought about it. I said, well, I'm not gonna reply right now. So what I did, I went back in the text stream and I was sending this particular ex-aware narcissist some photos of some furniture that was painted really nice that my relative did, right? So he didn't really compliment the furniture through the text. So this runs narcissists off too. Okay, so what runs them off, because narcissists have no substance. So their texts are gonna be good morning, hello, on a vacation day. Really boring text, right? There's no substance. So what I did, and this ran him off clean. He stopped texting. I sent him more photos of the furniture. So it forces him to say, looks good, talented. This is what he said about the relative. But the narcissist didn't like how I switched that around, because narcissists don't want to validate you. So when I ignored his text, good morning on vacation day, and I came back a day or two later, okay, because that started like Thursday and Friday. I come back like the next day or that night, and I bring up the furniture. I send more furniture. So, and I knew what I was doing. I did this strategically because just like narcissists study us and get to know us, I know this narcissist. So I know that he's not going to really like validating the furniture, because for one, he's going to be pissed off that I ignored him. So another thing I did, I sent a interesting confession video from a serial killer. Raphael Jackson is a serial killer that it's an interview of a serial killer that was in St. Louis, Missouri. He was killing in East St. Louis, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. And this confession was way back in 1999. But this is the first time I saw this confession because my cousin sent it to me. So what I did, I sent the narcissist the confession link, okay? And I told him, I said, check this out, because this narcissist likes to watch crime cases. I said, check this out. My cousin sent this to me. Check out this video. This man, he unalived people in St. Louis, Missouri, and in East St. Louis, Illinois. So check this out. So once I did this, this narcissist is not replying. And this is why. I'm actually having a legitimate conversation through the text. And it's actually pointing out how boring this narcissist really is. And also, what I'm also intentionally doing in these texts, I'm bringing up a relative's furniture that lives outside the home. I'm bringing up this video that my cousin sent me. Now notice, these are two males that live outside the home. So I'm mentioning to this narcissist, check this out. My cousin sent me this, which he really did. But see, my cousin has empathy, right? And so another thing I'm going to bring up about narcissists and text messaging here in part 3, narcissists don't know what to text you, okay? They can do that same old good morning, good afternoon, that same old stupid text they'll send you all year. Texting can be much, much more. Now, my cousin sent me this hour-long confession with Raphael Jackson. Now, that was interesting. And it created a phone conversation about it. This narcissist isn't doing that enough. This ex-aware narcissist, he's not sending me video links. Very rarely. It's like silly little kid stuff that he'll send me. So, an event that the narcissist went to, that he's going to for his relative. I said, enjoy the game. Okay, so I'm also being positive. So this got narcissists off my radar because I'm actually having adult conversations. And the narcissist is able, especially an aware narcissist, they're able to notice that there's no depth. There's no depth to what they're sending you. It's boring. And I reversed it, and the narcissist had to validate me. And in some sense, validating my family. So with this situation number 2, what I'm going to be doing is clicking block. So with this text stream, this is a ex-narcissist that I dated. So I just blocked him. So with these situations, get your point across and move on. So I ran him off and stopped him from texting because he'll do this for weeks and weeks, y'all. I'll block him, unblock him. It kind of goes through these different intervals with this, right? But the main thing is we're broke up. So I click block. So my goal is going into 2026, and I explained this before too. You know, I do videos, y'all. So I've called this particular narcissist like my lab experiment, which means when I do videos, if I communicate with a narcissist at a distance and keep him at bay, I come up with what? Video ideas to help you. Okay, just like a lab experiment. They're letting all the little mice go in the wheel round and round while they test them and see what's going to happen when this one falls off the ramp, right? So it's the same type of thing, you know, keeping a narcissist at bay to learn their behavior. And then I come on my channel and we talk about it. What's wrong with that? I do have a channel. So I just click blocked for that situation because like Andy M said, 6307 narcissists are evil. And they are. There's not much of a conscience they have. And there's no substance, you know, the good morning text. But at the end of the day, in this video, you must understand this. If you wonder, why does this person keep texting me and I'm not replying? The beautiful thing with nowadays, y'all, this is the beautiful luxury to all of this. And I love this. I love how when you block someone now, it still shows their call. And this is why this is so beautiful. When you block them, you no longer can see their text. So say if it's someone you want to communicate with. Say I say, okay, well, I'm going to block this narcissist, which I just did. I click block. And I decide, well, okay, I'll answer the phone every blue moon so that I come up with video ideas. And eventually that has to stop. Because the goal should be full no contact over the phone too. But say I say, well, shoot, I'm getting too many video ideas from this aware narcissist. I got playlists about this guy. I'm just getting too many video ideas about this particular aware narcissist. Since I click block, the texting can stop. The texting And stopping the text messages and text messaging streams will keep you out of a lot of trouble. And this is another thing it will do. Believe it or not, if you don't have these texting relationships with these highly narcissistic people and narcissists, it will free up more of your time. You don't have to sit there for 25 minutes every morning texting 10 people back because you've created a texting relationship with 10 to 20 people and you feel darn obligated to text every single one of them every single morning. You've created a whole new responsibility. You just as well go adopt 2 newborns because you're doing the same thing, getting up every morning. It's just like newborns. You got to change diapers in the morning, right? It's the same thing. You're doing the same. You adding on just as much responsibility to your life when you have to get up at 6 a.m. every morning and reply to 10 to 20 people that's texting you. And when you don't reply, they get mad at you. I experience freedom because I'm not texting and I'm not in the texting game. I stopped this right at the head. Right when this stuff starts, at the head of when it started, I shut it down. Like I just clicked blocked. I just clicked blocked for the aware narcissist, that's the X. And then for the married narcissist that's texting me from that work phone, I'm just not replying to that at all. Because with that, I'm just wondering how far that's going to go. It's like another lab experiment, right? How long is this gentleman going to do this? But through text messaging, you will actually find out how much someone does not care about you. So, what benefit is it scaring someone, having them on edge, triggering their anxiety, telling them you can see them, you're behind them? You're telling them this over the phone call. This is not in text messaging. I'm outside your house. I can see you. I'm right behind you. And I'm saying over the phone, like, you're behind me. I'm sitting in my chair. Really? And now the text saying I could see you. They don't care about your nervous system. So this is why you want to remove texting out of your life. The texting is good because it shows their nature. However, one thing about narcissistic behavior, they tend not to know when to stop a behavior on their own. And I'm not going to get into the debate. I'm not getting ready to text a married man that I'm not dating and tell him, you know, I don't feel comfortable. You are texting me a lot from your work phone, and I know you're doing it behind your wife's back. I'm not going to do that. Narcissists are no longer my children. Going into the new year, I'm going to be limiting how much I say to narcissists. And if I do have to speak up to someone, I'm going to try to make sure it's worth it and it's someone that has the ability to change their behavior. With good people, you don't have to even have these conversations. But I'm not going to discipline this married narcissist that's texting me from the work phone. I'm not going to reply. And then with the aware narcissist, example number 2 in this video, with the aware narcissist, the X, and I'm looking at these texts like, he's telling me what he's doing. He's on a vacation day. He's keeping me updated as to his activities. I don't care. Why do narcissists do that? Why don't they know how to break up with anybody? This is stuff you got to do when you're in a relationship with somebody. Keep them updated and, you know, try to show respect and let the person know where you're at. I don't care. I'm not in a relationship with this man, and I will not be getting back with this aware narcissist. Now, clarify now. I'm clarifying. I'm not talking about the married person or individual that's texting me from the work phone. What he's doing is showing his narcissism. And that's another thing. When they're what do some people call them, a covert narcissist, or HD Tutor would call them a mid-range narcissist or upper lesser narcissist. So I think the covert narcissist, that's the narcissist you don't think is a narcissist because they're behind the scenes wearing that facade. But a mid-range narcissist, Andy M6307, have you ever heard of HD Tutor? He's a British man. He's not German, but he's British. He has the channel called The Ultra. He does a lot of the Meghan Markle. He does a lot of the videos about the royal family too. He has a couple of channels. He has one on narcissism and psychopathy. And then he has the HD Tutor. Then he has the older channel he had. I just love him. He's a British man. So I watch YouTubers that are not in the United States. And then viewers that are not in the United States come here to watch me. Oh yeah, that's right, Andy M6307. So you said okay, so Andy M6307 says, but if you are strong in your heart, they have no chance. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I like how Andy worded that. Strong in your heart. I love that. Yeah, and that's what I am. You know, I'm strong in my heart and soul. And yeah. So what I'll do, I'll give you an example of HD Tutor, right? Y'all. So you think you heard of them. So I'm gonna play. Let me find one of the recent videos. There was one good one. It was really, really a good video. And it was like just one thing you gotta grasp, right? It was by HD Tutor. Hold on, y'all. Okay, listen to this. This is HD Tutor voice. So you'll know like the type of stuff I be listening to, y'all. Fair use, y'all. Fair use. Fair use. Thank you so much for the likes, y'all.
You must grasp this one thing about the narcissist. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I've said on many occasions that nobody spots the narcissist when we first come along. Most people have no familiarity with what narcissism or what a narcissist is. Those that think that they know basically associate it with someone who is in love with themselves, who thinks very highly of themselves and doesn't understand the many intricacies of what narcissism amounts to, how the narcissist behaves, and of particular importance to you, the impact of the narcissist's behavior on you. My work, which I have amassed over many, many years and have provided in book form, blog form, video form, consultation detector, etc., provides unrivaled insight into the way that the narcissist behaves. During this time, I have educated millions of people through my blog articles, through my videos on YouTube, and also in consultation, where I have spoken to thousands of people dealing with different types of narcissists in different types of scenarios. And from this extensive practical application of my knowledge, I'm able to explain to you that there is one thing that is particularly important for you to grasp in relation to the narcissist, which will assist you in not only understanding the way that the narcissist behaves, but will provide you with a breakthrough with regard to the way that you see the narcissist. This breakthrough is hugely important because for many people, they're not able to process what they're dealing with initially, not because they're stupid, not because of the absence of appropriate information from me, but as a consequence of a lack of familiarity with what they're dealing, a lack of understanding as to what that person is, and the presence of emotional thinking, which obscures. Too often, an individual will find themselves thinking, but what if they're not a narcissist? What if I am wrong? Or what if I can help them in some way? After all, there have been good times with this person. Or, oh, I owe it to the relationship not to just give up and walk away, to give up on it. In some instances, it might be the individual on the outside who wants to have the relationship with the narcissist for the purposes of ensuring that they are together, and they don't grasp why that is such a bad thing for them to desire. In effect, it's about shattering the image of the narcissist. Now, some of you may well think to yourselves, oh, don't worry about that, HG. I think the narcissist is an absolute douche canoe. As a consequence of that, yeah, I realise I don't want anything to do with them. But it's all right to say that, and I have witnessed many individuals who will say,
Words are so important, y'all. Just having the word narcissist and being able to have a word for someone that has no emotional empathy, that doesn't care about you, that word is so important in it. Now, since I understand what the word is, I've been able to free myself from a lot of situations. So the word is a very powerful word. I've heard one sister said she doesn't like the word, right? But to be quite frank, because she doesn't like the word, she will always lack a lot of knowledge when it comes to domestic violence and preventative measures as far as like safety. Like basically being able to save her life and others' lives. You know, if you don't like the word narcissist, you will remain very naive to the world. I could travel anywhere in the world if I wanted to, just because I know what a narcissist is. Like Andy M pointed out, he's all the way in Germany and he says narcissists are evil. Andy M6307, that's what he's stating. He's stating the truth. So because I know what the word is, I could go travel over to Germany. I would be fine because I know what the word is. People that don't know what the word is and was, they're murder victims. And to be quite frank, you can be murdered anywhere. Okay, so fair use, y'all. Let me finish playing HD Tutor video.
But it's all right to say that, and I have witnessed many individuals who will say, I don't want to involve myself with a narcissist, and then go ahead and directly contradict themselves. Not because they're an out and out hypocrite in the way that a narcissist is, but once again, their lack of understanding.
Just to clarify this, the aware narcissist, the ex narcissist, I don't go around him at all. I'm in a complete physical no contact. I've kept some level of phone contact here and there because I do these videos, because I do have this channel and I have to continue to upload. But just so you are aware, I do not hang out with this man. I do not go out to eat. I no longer go to his home. He no longer comes to mine. The residence that I live in right now, the aware narcissist has not entered this residence. And I've been in this residence now over 6 years. So I just want to clarify so that you know that I'm doing the best I can to stay away from an ex narcissist that I was intimate with. I also want to point this out too about this aware narcissist that's texting me. I got him to go away by kind of turning it around to make him validate me. Um, he went to his relative's sporting event. It's a child, right? And he wasn't happy to be going there. You know, that's another thing. Like Andy M said, you know, narcissists are evil. Andy's so right because this aware narcissist that I used to be with, you could hear the misery because he has to go to a minor in his family event. He doesn't want to be there. Now, when he's hanging out and he's drinking with this best friend of his, he's all happy and in a good mood. Narcissists are evil. They're not family people. Whether they go into their stepchildren's events, much of the time they won't support stepchildren enough. However, my aware narcissist years ago, he did support my children in some ways. Um, but don't expect evil narcissists to support stepchildren or any children when they're barely supporting the children in their own family. So the narcissist, he wasn't excited to go to the relative sporting event. He just wasn't excited. He sounded, you know, like it's just something he's doing just to do it. He had to kind of drive kind of far to go to the sporting event. And narcissists are evil. They're not grateful. They're not grateful. I mean, see, for me, it's fun. Like when I go to the kids stuff, um, if you're my kid and you're like, however old you get, I'm excited to go to your stuff. I'm excited to see you go to school. I'm just excited for you, right? But narcissists, they don't like going to kids' stuff, even their own kids. So Andy M6307, thank you so much for the chat. I appreciate all of your input in the chat. You're a very intelligent man. I think that a narcissist, this is what Andy M says, I think that a narcissist have a poor soul. They make themselves bigger than you. Please do not forget that. Yes. Yeah, and they think they're superior and bigger. And I'm quite sure this aware narcissist, at the event he went to, he tried to put on the happy time face. But on that phone, he didn't want to go. You can just tell. And that's why it's so good to be in no contact with narcissists. So you just not in their face and you not, you know, I no longer have to see that stuff because I don't physically go around this man. I no longer have to see how miserable he is to go to his own family's events. You know, he got kids in his family. And it's just all like not right, right? And that's why sometimes what you will find too is it's such a blessing to get narcissists from around your kids. You know, this is the thing with even an aware narcissist. They're not good to be around kids, okay? Because for one, they don't have an invested interest in the child, and this it's not genuine. So you know, and the thing is they just want to be bothered with the parent. So one of the things, like I'll give you an example. You got an aware narcissist at your residence, and my family members, they're talkative. Hey, you know, they want to reach out and talk to people. And there's no drinking and smoking or no drug abuse in my home. There's none of that. So, you know, the children try to talk to the narcissist, and the narcissist is always like, "Now I'm talking to your mom now." And that may seem respectful, but over times the kids are not getting any attention from the narcissist. So with those kind of people, I keep them out of my residence because we're a team here. There's no drug abuse, we don't smoke, we don't drink, and I don't want anybody in my home that is constantly going to be telling a kid to go away. But that's the thing. Narcissists, they do not like your kids in their face. They don't really like your kids talking to them. Like Andy M said, narcissists are evil. So since they're evil, why would they like kids? It doesn't make any sense for a narcissist to genuinely like kids when they're evil. And this is a comment all the way from Germany. You can read it. Andy M is putting them in the chat. He's putting these comments in the chat. You read it for yourself. It's very informative and educational. So they may behave like they bigger than you. You know, and what the thing is, narcissists, when they start buying stuff and owning stuff, and the more houses they buy, and the more kids go off to college, they think they have a right to text you and talk down to you because they really think they're superior to you. Oh my God, don't let them start buying properties. And I'm finding this across the board with just the average narcissist, an unaware one or an aware one. Now, this particular aware narcissist that I was with, he doesn't have property. He doesn't own property. And I'm not devaluing that. I'm just saying with him, he knows that he's not better. Okay. He's very much in shame, and he's has a lot of shame being who he is. And he just can't cover it up. He couldn't fake happy to go to his family member's event. That's a minor in the family. It was a sporting event for one of the kids in the family, an immediate relative of his. But he was miserable. He didn't want to leave the house. He's very lazy. That's another thing. Andy M, if you're still here, 6307, narcissists ain't just evil, they're lazy as hell too. They don't want to get off that couch on the weekend, so they're freaking lazy. So the beauty is I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. And my children experience the most freedom because they're not blood related to the narcissist. And so they don't have to deal with any of this stuff. So fair use, y'all. I'm gonna finish playing this video. Oh, I give you an able. Let me see. What does that mean? Andy M says, I give you an able. It is fine to hear. Okay. Abonnement. Let me see. You giving me a new word here. Okay. Um, abonnement, because this is what Andy M6307 said he would give me. He says, I give you an abo and it is fine to hear you. So an abonnement is a word from French and German meaning subscription or ticket, referring to a recurring payment for regular access to a service, publication like a magazine, newspaper, or events like concerts and theaters. It signifies paying in advance for ongoing delivery of content or access to facilities like a public transport pass or streaming service. Oh, wow. Thank you. So, how would you give this to me? Andy M6307. So it sounds like it's like a monthly subscription or newspaper. Is that what it is? Thank you. I learned a new word. Yeah, thank you so much. I've always wanted to start my own dictionary, y'all. It's something I'm considering doing, my own dictionary. Oh, it's a subscription. So how would I get that started, Andy M6307? And what would it be a subscription to? What's the name of the magazine, if you don't mind me asking? No, your English is good. And then another thing too, once the live ends, Andy M6307, once the live ends, you can also leave a comment um, and let me know how to do it. Because what happens with these comments, these all end. So like these are deleted. So the chat comments, they go away once the live ends. I could screenshot and see if I could find you on YouTube. But what you can do is once this live ends, leave a comment. And also, y'all make sure you check the description box because I will be putting the fair use video in the description box as well. So remember this: narcissism and text messaging part 3. Just for a summary or a cap of everything, if someone is married, okay, you're going to be very strict on this. If they're married and they're starting to text you from a work phone and they're trying to like sneak behind their wife or husband back, just discontinue texting. Don't tell them why. And this is why. You don't need to tell a married person that they're married. They already know that they're married. They already know that they're married when they're doing it from a work phone. So you don't tell them, well, I'm not replying to you because you're married. A married person knows that they're married every single day. They always know that they're married. So you don't need to tell them that. And the reason you don't need to tell them that is you're not ending an affair with them. Okay. So now if you're having an affair with a married person and you say, look, this is enough, even in those cases, you might just be better off ghosting the person so you don't get killed or shot down or something. It can be dangerous breaking up with a married person. But if it's a married person and you know their wife and you are not currently having an affair, you're not sleeping with this person, you're not dating this married man or woman, You do not need to say to them, you know, your texts are inappropriate. Stop texting me from your work phone. You don't need to say nothing. Never remind a married person that they're married. Just ghost them and make your communication with them appropriate and keep the boundaries up. Whether you're working with them, they're at your church, they're at your masjid, they've been a long time friend since high school, you don't need to tell them that they're married. This text stream that I was reading you, when the text message said the last text I got from the married man, and I know his wife. And also, someone recommended to me to tell his wife. I don't need to do that. I don't need to tell his wife. And this is why. I'm not having an affair with this married man. See, this is the thing with married people, they can kind of try to make it feel to you like you're having some kind of affair with them. It's all in the mind, too. Married people know how to get in the mind. They know how to get in your mind. But I'm telling you, do it this way. Do not argue and debate with a married man or woman through text messaging. Don't do it. This is why, too, not to do it that way. When you're single, you're missing out on your single life. Part of the beauty of being single is that you do not have to argue with any husband or wife. You don't have to put up with that shit. So me being an unmarried woman, why in the hell would I text this married man and say, I don't like this, you're married? That's making me arguing with a man. I'm arguing with somebody else's husband. I don't have to do that shit because I'm unmarried. Never lose your benefit to being unmarried. This is what this miserable married man got to do. And no matter how they look with their wives and their husbands, when they take their ass to work and they texting other single people behind their husband or wife back, these are miserable married people. Especially if they're narcissistic, they, no matter what, once they get used to their wife or husband, they're going to devalue them, call them names, and do all kind of stuff. They just will. It's not right. So please follow this advice. I'm giving you some good advice. You'll notice sometimes I'll open up a window for communication with some of these text messages, like with the aware narcissist that was texting me, letting me know where he's at. It's a vacation day. He's with his little cousin or whatever at her event, whatever, his niece, granddaughter, whatever. So yeah, I replied to that to a certain degree, just to bring it back on around where it should be. But that's the last man I've been with, too. That aware narcissist is the last man I've been with. I was in a relationship with that man. But with this married man, that last text he sent me from the work phone saying, I see you, I'm not going to reply to that at all. Because I was not dating that man, and that's not the last man I was with. That's somebody else's husband. And when I say somebody else's husband, I'm talking about when a man is living in the same house with their wife. I ain't talking about just some paperwork. This married man that's texting me all those work texts and has been texting me since February of last year. When I first got the call and I said, who is this? Within 2.5 months, I was getting a text that said, hello, beautiful. And I replied to a few texts, but I had to catch myself. once I saw the pattern of what he was doing. You know, sometimes you got to see a pattern of what somebody's doing to really catch on to what they're really saying, or not saying, but doing to catch on to it. But yeah, when a married person is trying to sneak behind their wife back. Now, another piece of advice. Thank you so much for the like. Another piece of advice is, you might ask, well, with the married individual, did I delete the text? No. The text from the work phone, none of them are deleted. And this is why. What if he lied and told his wife I was coming on to him? Keep the text for a while, just in case the married person lies on you. Because as you resist the communication over time, the married person could go tell their wife, you know, Irene trying to make a pass at me. So keep the text for some time, just in case you had to prove, no, I'm not coming on to your husband, honey, because he's texting me all these texts from his work phone, and I do not reply to your husband. So just keep the text for some time. Okay. Keep a trail on a married person that's texting you. Don't delete them right away. Just in case the married man or woman gets mad at you because you didn't, or they get fearful that you're going to tell their wife or husband. Now, with your ex narcissist that you were intimate with, the last narcissist you were with, you can delete those if you want, unless you're tracking some sort of criminal case. But in this case, with my aware narcissist, the ex that I was with, there's no criminal issues going on. There's no threats of violence or any of that. It was a decent breakup, right? But with the married individual that's texting you from that work phone, that's doing that behind their wife back, and some people will be doing it behind their husband's back. Keep those texts just in case you're lied on. So if this married man went and told his wife, well, you know, Irene has a work phone and she just keep texting me and I'm not replying, baby. So I have the phone. I say, nope, that's not true. This is what your husband's doing. So in the married people text, keep a trail of it, but do not reply. Do not, once again, do not remind a married person that they married and you not having an affair with them. Now, you may think it's appropriate if you're having an affair with a married man or woman and you want to remind them that they're married so you can get out the situation. That would be more appropriate. If you're saying, look, I'm tired. I've waited 18 years for you to get divorced. I'm done. So that's different because you're having an affair with the married man or woman. But when you're not having no affair with the man or woman, you do not tell them that they married. Don't text no married man or woman and say, oh, please don't text me you doing this behind your wife or husband back. No, they already know they married. And you're not having an affair with them. So don't let a married man or a married woman groom you and treat you like you they side chick or side dude. Don't allow a married person that you're not even having an affair with to treat you like that. You are single and unmarried, and you need to take all of your single and unmarried privileges. And one of the many privileges of being single and unmarried is you don't have to deal with this shit. You don't have to be in chaos with a significant other or a wife or husband. You don't have to live like that. The Lord has freed you from that. You're free of the misery. The married people on that wheel of misery, you're not on it. So don't put yourself on it. Don't get in the middle of married people shit. So I gave you the best advice I could on that. Now, this aware narcissist, I just put him back in block mode again. And I think with his phone, my ex aware narcissist, when I block him and he texts me, it tells him that with his phone, it will say message rejected or whatever. So when I block him, and I'm for sure that his phone does this because of the way he acts when I block him. When I block him and he texts me, there's a certain attitude that comes with it. So I know that my ex aware narcissist, when I block him and he texts me, it sends a message back to him saying his text could not come through. That much I'm sure of. But that's different. You know, the aware narcissist, I do videos about it. I do videos about him. So he's in block and unblock because I'm doing my video thing. Okay. But yeah, but that the married people advice, please take my advice. Don't let a married man or woman that you are not sleeping with treat you like you they side chick or side dude. Don't indulge in their fantasy world. Please don't. And don't get involved in their mental problems. So let me go back because I was using the example of HG Tutor, and you must grasp this one thing about the narcissist. So fair use, y'all. I'm going to go back to playing this video. So fair use.
Hypocrite in the way that a narcissist is, but once again, their lack of understanding, their lack of appreciation of what they're truly dealing with, and the presence of emotional thinking keeps them locked into the dynamic with all of the adverse consequences that I have spoken about. In order to break through that, in order to adjust your mindset, it's fundamental that you understand the way that the narcissist sees you. Yes, you and her and him and them over there and that person too. And don't forget about her. The narcissist views people as objects, but it's more than just that that you need to grasp. And I'd recommend that as additional understanding in relation to this video, you go and watch my video, You Are a Toaster, because that drives home the objectification aspect of who you are to the narcissist.
So good, so good, so good. I got what I need and it feels so good. So good, so good, so good. This place is bigger than I thought.
So we've only got 1 hour. Could you plan us a tour?
I see you're at the Liam Museum. Shall we focus on traditional Korean art?
Well, we are in Korea, so let's do it.
Great. Head to the M1 building to see historic treasures.
This book, isn't it fascinating?
That's not a book.
Oh,
It's a
y'all,
wood
this
pile.
is a
Often found in
commercial.
the houses of the rich.
That's a commercial, y'all. I apologize.
Of who you are to the narcissist. But the point that I want you to take hold of and accept and drive home into your own mind is the fact that the narcissist views you as an object only to the extent that you are an object that is useful to them. You are not a friend. You are not a lover. You are not a brother or a sister or a colleague. Those are just labels that the narcissist uses because they are labels that you understand.
And pay attention to that. When HG Tutor says, you know, those are just labels. So keep in mind, I was talking about a married person, right? And just think about it. His wife is just a title. So you got to remember the reason a married person can just start texting behind their wife's or husband back on a work phone, and this is a work phone that they leave at work. So this is not even a phone that they bring home. So they really think they're getting away with something. That wife or husband just has a title. That's it. It's just a title. That doesn't mean they're respected. All narcissists cheat and go behind their wife or husband back. All of them. Do it and be laying right up with you. I talked about this in Narcissism Text Messaging Part 2, I think. Part 1 or 2. I talked about how my ex-husband was smooching around with my bridesmaid. And my bridesmaid husband caught them. Imagine your bridesmaid, this was after I got married, they were caught. So imagine your bridesmaid is messing around with your husband and her husband catches them in the vehicle. Narcissists are not faithful people. So I'm going to play this one part again that HD Tutor says. So keep that in mind with the text messaging. Just like HD Tutor said, friend, lover, those are just titles. Okay, let me play that again.
As objects.
Hold on.
That the narcissist sees you. Yes.
Hold on.
Dynamic with all of the adverse consequences.
Fair use, y'all.
That I've spoken about. In order to break through that, in order to adjust your mindset, it's fundamental that you understand the way that the narcissist sees you. Yes, you and her and him and them over there and that person too. And don't forget about her. The narcissist views people as objects, but it's more than just that you need to grasp. And I'd recommend that as additional understanding in relation to this video, you go and watch my video, You Are a Toaster, because that drives home the objectification aspect of who you are to the narcissist. But the point that I want you to take hold of and accept and drive home into your own mind is the fact that the narcissist views you as an object only to the extent that you are an object that is useful to them. You are.
And that's why when they're texting you, that's why there's no soul in it. See, they view you as an object. That's why even some of the texts are so boring. Sometimes they don't even have nothing fancy to say. A narcissist can just send you a GM text and not even type out good morning and do that for 12 straight months. May not even say, hello, how you doing? There's not much energy put into their text. And that's because, like HG said, they view you as objects. Now, he's talking about things that you need to grasp about the narcissist or understand about the narcissist, but you got to implement this into the text messaging. They're viewing you like an object, like you're not even human. That's why they texting you and not calling you. I primarily use texting for business reasons and family related reasons. And I'm talking about people that are in the household.
Extent that you are an object that is useful to them. You are not a friend. You are not a lover. You are not a brother or a sister or a colleague. Those are just labels that the narcissist uses because they are labels that.
So HG Tutor says you are not a lover, you are not a brother or a sister or a colleague. I'm going to add you are not a wife and husband neither. That's just a title. So add your own titles onto this. Okay? add wife and husband, because I mentioned the example with the married narcissist texting me. I'm going to give you an example 3 before this video ends. So I'm going to give you a third example for this particular video. Okay. Fair use, y'all. I'm going to finish playing this video first, then I'm going to give you a third example.
Those are just labels that the narcissist uses because they are labels that you understand. The narcissist, in order to fit into your world, utilizes the same language. Unaware narcissists do this without realizing why they're doing it. The rarer, much rarer, aware narcissist uses the same terminology in the full knowledge that it is done to deceive you. The fact is, the unaware or aware narcissist views you as an object, and you are there simply to serve the needs of the narcissist. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You are a commodity. Your utility to the narcissist is all that matters. The narcissist is only friends with you because being friends with you is a method to use you. The narcissist...
And that's why they're texting you too. They're texting you because that's a method just to use you. Okay? So you got to take this video that HD Tutor is saying and implement it in your mindset regarding texting. So even that married gentleman that's texting me from that work phone is to use me for something. Okay? Even if it's just to start chaos in my life. Married people are jealous of single people, y'all. Because you don't have their problems. Seriously. Being single, you don't have their problems. This married gentleman, you know what he mentioned to me one day on the phone? He said something to the degree of he remembers how he enjoyed when he was alone and single. Like just kind of like reminiscing on what it was like before he got married. You know, the freedom of just being solo. Something to that degree. He mentioned that he didn't mind it. Because he's thinking back to many, many years ago before he got married. And when you're single, you're not having that problem, right? When a married person, when they were single, when they had a pretty peaceful, free life, and they like being single, they will reminisce back to that time when they were single and didn't have all these not problems, but responsibilities, kids, homes, a wife, never having their alone time, stuff like that. So they will reminisce back to it and they may miss it. You know, a married person may say, man, I remember when it was just me and, you know, I didn't have to worry about all this stuff. Not to say they don't want to be married, but when you were a single person, like right now, if I got married next year, the state that I'm in right now, if me and my husband started arguing and stuff, I would think back to right now. I could remember when I was just in my makeshift studio, doing my videos and not having a problem. Married people do think like that. Now, do they want to run and get a divorce to be back single? Some of them do, some of them don't. But yeah, you can just apply this video that HD Tutor is doing and you can apply it to text messaging. And it will be down in the description box. So within 5 to 10 minutes of this live ending, I will have this fair use video in the description box.
You. The narcissist only takes you to bed because taking you to bed is a means of getting to use
Breaking, you can save up to $1,000 at Ashley right now. So let's go check it out.
Ashley Furniture is great. So I apologize. This is the commercial, y'all. AshleyFurniture.com.
The narcissist only takes you to bed because taking you to bed is a means of getting to use you. The narcissist only comes around to your house to check if you're okay, not because the narcissist cares about you, but because doing that allows some form of utility in relation to accessing you as an object. You are simply there to be controlled, to provide fuel, to provide character traits and residual benefits. That's all that matters about you. You're not there to be a friend of the narcissist or a lover or a family member. You are simply an object that is to be utilized. And in that regard, the narcissist only sees you in one of two ways. The first is a good, compliant object. This is where you're doing as is needed. You're under control and you're providing fuel and character traits and residual benefits. Maybe not all, but some. But that makes you a good object. So the narcissist will keep you around. The narcissist will treat you well. That's because you are proving that you are of worth to the narcissist, because that's all that matters. The narcissist isn't interested in you talking about your hopes and fears. They will only listen to the extent that it serves a purpose for them. And indeed, as many of you know, you talking about yourself actually soon results in disinterest from the narcissist. If you fail to be a good little appliance, then you must be a bad appliance, for it is a zero-sum game.
And narcissists, I'm going to point this out, like with the aware narcissist that I was with. One of the reasons friendships with narcissists that you used to be with will never work. For one, they're an ex. Two, once you stop having sex with a narcissist, they're angry with you for life. They will never be able to get their mood and temperament and that happy sound that they had, or that happy voice. They will be able to swing into the happy voice here and there to try to lure you back in, but they'll never be the way they were or the way they pretended to be when y'all first met. So ultimately, like with this aware narcissist, yeah, he's like the lab experiment for me. I'll block him and unblock. I utilize him for my videos. I just do. I talk about a lot of personal things on my videos. However, I know that at some point I have to be in a complete no contact. And I am pretty much most of the year. I don't need to talk to an aware narcissist 12 months of the year to get video ideas. I just don't. I'm not going to talk to him that often. But ultimately, I do know that all narcissists, no matter who they are, they do have to leave my life. We're just not compatible. We're like oil and water. I have empathy and I know how to love and care, and narcissists don't. So we're just not a compatible match. And I'm just not going to make the time for a narcissist. I'm not going to deal with their shenanigans. I'm just not. I don't have time for it. I got other stuff to be doing. Fair use, y'all.
And what that means is that if you're not doing what you ought to be doing, i.e. serving the needs of the narcissist, that must mean that you can't and you're incapable, and therefore you must be punished, which means you become devalued. And in some instances, as a consequence of frequent failure, you become disengaged from. Thus, you are an object. You are only there for the purposes of serving the needs of the narcissist. And you have two states, and only two states. You're painted white when you're a useful object. You're painted black when you're a useless object. And that's all you are to the narcissist. There's no in between. There's no shades of grey. Thus, you understand that is how the narcissist sees you. Subconsciously, where you are dealing with an unaware narcissist, which forms the vast majority of narcissists, or consciously, where you're dealing with the much rarer beast, the aware narcissist. It is so important that you understand and grasp that this is the way that you are regarded by the narcissist. An object there to serve the narcissist. If you do, you're painted white. If you don't, you're painted black. And that's all there is to the way that the narcissist regards you. If that has not caused you to revise your view of the individual that has been identified as a narcissist, then you need to watch this video again. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, HG Tutor is the best. So yeah, so that's just basically HG Tutor is saying the narcissist is just using you. That's it. And it applies when they're texting. It's the same thing. Now, I said that I was going to give y'all example number 3. So example number 3 with texting, and this person, you have to stop texting altogether. They're the abusive relative. They're the abusive son, daughter, or sibling, niece, nephew. This is the abusive relative. And especially in a case where it's like a son or a daughter, what will happen in these cases is, and this is example number 3, there will be a lot of triangulation or sicking people on you, so to speak. No different than somebody sicking their dog on you. They're unleashing their dog on you to maul you, intimidate you, and scare you, and just keep you under a state of fear and anxiety. So a lot of times we'll use an example of a son or daughter that's doing it. So let's say a son, okay, an abusive son, and he has a girlfriend. So whenever you talk on the phone, and these microaggressions, they will happen over time. So at first, the girlfriend might be kind of quiet. And this is kind of a real life situation. I've done lives where I pointed out some tendencies with this particular relative. So when I contact the relative, he's moved out. His girlfriend gets quite aggressive. Just simple things I might say. Like I may stand up to him and say, that's not true. That's not right. But this particular girlfriend, I'll give you an example. I was on the phone with him today. This relative's moved out, right? And he called a lady a bitch that his father stabbed in the stomach twice. He never even met the lady. And I said, don't do that in front of your children. And so the mother of the children is allowing it. So she states to me she don't like the way I talk to him. She don't like that I have morals. Okay, this is a woman that doesn't like that I have morals. And then this particular relative that's moved out, he called God a nigga. He talking about the Lord in heaven, y'all. Called the Lord a nigga. And so, of course, I'm not going around this relative or his girlfriend. But the way it happened kind of today was the ensnarement through the texting. So these type of beasts, now this is a beast. You got somebody calling the Lord a nigga. You got a trifling girlfriend that this particular psychopath is sicking on you. So in these cases, block them. So what you do in these type of cases is just block them so they can't text at all. and then no longer talk to the person around who they're triangulating you with. And you remember triangulation, it has the triangle has three parts. It has the point at the end and the 2 points at the bottom. It's a triangle. So it's three of you. It's you and the narcissist and whomever they're triangulating you with. And that's the person that they're sicking on you to attack you. So now you got two narcissists or psychopaths on you. In those cases, sometimes it'll happen in steps. So I no longer message this person on Instagram. And then, the person he's triangulating me with, the girlfriend, she's saying I need to go see him. No, I don't. I don't need to go see him. I don't need to be seeing nobody that's calling the Lord a nigga and threatening to throw my son off a balcony, giggling and happy about the thought that my son could have died earlier this year. Just horrific things. I don't go around these type of people. See, my criteria for texting and going around somebody, it's not just based on your blood relation. You could be my own son or daughter. If you become dangerous to me and you saying stuff like, you calling the Lord I serve a nigga, this is what he calling the Lord, a nigga. Okay, he doesn't live in my home anymore. I don't even allow him in my house. I stay clear of him and that girl and the children over there. So in this example, which would be number 3, this psychopath, he will use text messaging as a way to just totally gaslight. You didn't raise me, you just took care of me. Same thing. I raised you, I took care of you. So in these situations, just stop texting completely. So you just keep them blocked. And then in these type of situations with these particular relatives, if you want to keep some contact with the relative for various reasons, no longer talk to the relative when that individual's around that they're triangulating you with. Because what's happened is with these particular psychopaths and narcissists, they don't have much of a conscience. And so I noticed that when I was talking to him, when he went down the back steps at his apartment complex, the conversation was more peaceful because he wasn't around the girlfriend. So this would be example number 3. So with these situations, you stop texting completely. Just tell them, hey, my phone don't text like that no more. Or something wrong with my phone. Just tell them something like that. But for this type of situation, because of the extreme abuse, there was also a complaint that I called the police, something like the police came to the door a while back. I'm not sure if the police did come to the door. I don't know. It's something that kind of got mentioned, sending the police to his door. It's possible that the police department actually came over there because there's been so many calls throughout the years on this relative. But I just stood my ground. I said, yeah, if you threaten to come to my house and spray my house down and all of this stuff to my residents, I'm going to call every single time. So this would be example number 3. So these type of situations are normally immediate relatives. There's a criteria that they meet. They're an immediate relative. There's potential drug abuse, alcohol abuse, vaping, potential vaping, gambling. They're already having domestic violence issues within their relationship. These people are miserable. I made sure I didn't cuss and name call, and I didn't completely lose my cool. I just stood my ground. This particular relative, his girlfriend has a deceased mother, and it's not that I'm saying anything wrong to my relative. It's just Her mother's deceased. So there's probably some jealousy and discomfort because she doesn't have her own mother or auntie around anymore. Okay, so these situations, so this is what I'm going to do right now. Okay, hopefully you enjoy HD Tutor video. So with these situations, what you want to do, let me make sure I did it because I clicked block to the ex narcissist, the aware narcissist. I did not respond to the married man that's texting me from that work phone. So with this particular psychopath, with the girlfriend, with these abusers, I'm clicking block. Okay, so block. Okay, so on this live, I blocked 2 people. So you want to actively, all throughout the year, just be blocking these, block these text abusers, block these hoovers, just click block, because now you can see the phone call. If this particular relative called me in case of an emergency, the call will come through. You have so much more peace in your life. You know, I'm feeling a very peaceful spirit just on this live. Very peaceful spirit. Very, very peaceful spirit. So hopefully, or what I'm going to guide you to do, I want you to go to your text messages and look in your text messages and figure out 2 to 3 people that you need to ignore. You're tired of their texts. This video helped you and you realize that there's a married narcissistic person texting you from a work phone. You've ignored it as long as you could. Click block. Okay. So I want you to do the same thing, like homework. Do it like homework. So within this live, I blocked 2 people. One, a relative that's sicking his pit bull on me over there. And one is a married narcissist that's being disrespectful to his wife. No. I didn't block him. No, actually. Let me fix this now. I'm so glad I caught that. I blocked the relative, okay? And I blocked the aware narcissist, the ex. The married narcissist, I'm just going to totally ignore that. I'm just going to ignore it and not reply. I'm almost curious to learn or figure out how many more texts that the married narcissist or married person, I'm not going to call them a narcissist like that, the married person. When a married person is sneaking behind their wife or husband back, they're showing their narcissistic trait. But I can't say per se if that's a narcissist. All I'm saying about the married individual, I'm not saying he's a narcissist. I'm not saying his wife's a narcissist. I'm stating that he's being disrespectful. I'm not saying he's a narcissist per se. However, the fact that he's sneaking behind his wife back is highly narcissistic. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. But I did 2 blocks. I blocked the relative that's sicking the pit bull girlfriend on me, harassing me through the text, just lacking a lot of boundaries. They are very disrespectful young people. And I blocked the aware narcissist that I used to be with. So I blocked 2 people. As of right now, I'm not blocking that work phone from the married narcissist. That's not even his phone. He leaves that phone at work, as far as I know. That's not a phone he takes home. As far as I know, he does not take that phone home. So I blocked 2 people. So the married text from the married person, I will not text on that phone at all. And the relative text messaging psychopath with the girlfriend that's being sicked on me, I will not text them at all anymore. So the point of this video, narcissists and text messaging, this is part 3, remember? Part 3. What I'm guiding you to understand is that when you end a text messaging situation with certain people, you end it. It's over. You don't get back into it. There's no more text, and I mean for life. You're gonna start acting like you in the 1980s when there was pagers. Okay. So when there was pagers, there was no text messaging. So you got to go back to like you in the early 1980s, mid 80s, 1985 or whatever, when people was paging people and it was beep, 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 beep. You got to go back to that. And I'm going to create a playlist about narcissists and text messaging. And you're just going to be in a better situation. I've already blocked 2 people just from my own live. My lives help me, y'all. My lives help me. It really does. Because I'm better in my life. I feel better. I feel much better. Hello, I need my like, share, and subscribe guy.
Okay.
Thank you. I got a new like, share, and subscribe guy, y'all. Yes, indeed. Hello, like, share, and subscribe guy.
Hello, YouTube. Yes. Hello, madam.
Madam.
Yes, indeed.
So what I'm gonna do is play a little music first, y'all. Got some dancing over here. Hey! This is Daniel here, my son Daniel.
Thank you, YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you want to live. Thank you.
If you want to live.
If you wanna live.
I didn't tell him to threaten y'all now.
Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you.
Or I'll be seeing all of you
Okay, y'all heard him now.
after this video.
You
Big
heard.
Rose.
Thank you, Daniel.
Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you.
And keep tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You heard what he gonna do to you now. If you don't like, share, and subscribe, something gonna happen now.
Yeah, I'm an intelligent man.
You're an intelligent man. Yeah, he knows how now.
Like, share, subscribe.
Amen. Thank you. Bye. Oh, no. I did thank you and bye too soon. To Andy M6307, all the way in Germany. You're welcome as well. And good night to you. And greetings from the United States. So Andy M6307, his comment said good night and greetings from Northern Germany. Okay, so good night and greetings from the United States. And then Andy M6307 also said, thank you for your good words. It is 2 a.m. here and I have to go to bed. So good night and sweet dreams. There was this song that my dad used to sing to me when I was a little girl. And it was, let me see if I could find it. Wait a minute. Good night, Irene. He used to sing this to me. Let me see. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Irene, good night. Good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
We learned this song, Irene, from a friend of ours. His name was Hughie Ledbetter. He called himself Ledbelly, king of the 12-string guitar. Some people thought he was the greatest folk singer that ever lived in America. We knew him best as a rememberer of folk songs, and he taught us dozens of them, especially Irene. This was his theme song, and he sang it for over 30 years before he died. Well, he died before Irene got to be known to so many millions of Americans. Hughie had a hard and wonderful life. It's over now, but his songs are still very much alive.
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
Last Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife are partying. I'm gonna take another stroll downtown. Well, Irene, good night.
Irene, good night. That's crazy. I'm going to put this in the description box, y'all. Fair use. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live. You hear how she said? Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in the house. Fair use, y'all. So I thought that was kind of when Andy M6307 all the way from Germany, when he said good night, I thought about when my dad used to sing, good night, Irene, I'll see you in my dreams.
Stop rambling. Stop your gambling. Stop staying out late at night. Go home to your wife and family. Stay there by your fireside bright. Well, Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene, I'll see you in my dreams. Just a little reminder of James. I appreciate all the nights he sang good night, Irene to me. I love him so much, and I will always have a piece of James in my soul. My favorite guy in the world. One of my favorite guys. I got sons now, so I love all my sons, James, and I love y'all forever. So thank you. Bye. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Bye.